1999 World Series went 3-2, and the Lancers had advanced to the national championships after sweeping the South Atlantic Regional in Savannah, Georgia, with 3 straight wins. Longwood completed the regular season with a record of 35-6, including winning streaks of 16 and 11 consecutive victories. They established a school record for wins with 41, winning percentage at .837, and runs with 8.98, just under 9 runs per game for the 1991 baseball team. Now, some of you might know that Coach Boulding is working on a book, and he has a chapter dedicated for each year. And the 1991 chapter is titled Something to Prove, in which he calls this team a team with quote-unquote attitude. But he also went on to say, I have never had a great team that did not have at least 3 to 5 great leaders. And I have likewise never had a great team that did not have 1 or 2 effective tri-captains. In 1991, I would have leadership galore, captains and non-captains alike. To borrow from the title of a popular book of the time, the Longwood College Baseball team had the right stuff in 1991. The Lancers roster totaled 19 team members. All that are in attendance here today, please come up front when I call your name. Dennis Hale, Scott Abel, Michael Adams, Todd Bowman, Matt Carlisle, Neelan Chandler, Eric Hill, John Putzler, Sean Jones, Bill Marks, Chris Mullins, Chris Peebles, Chris Porter, Bill Reeves, Terry Taylor, Michael Tucker, Kyle Weaver, Wayne Weaver, Coach Boulding, please, and was assisted that season by Robert Jackson. Eric Hutzler is also here to speak on the team's behalf. Can you guys fit? Ladies and gentlemen, our last induction into the Longwood University Hall of Fame, the 1991 men's baseball team.
That's good.
Again, Eric Hutzler to say a few words on the team's behalf.
Some of us actually remember Longwood before there was a Walmart. Right there. On behalf of the 1991 Longwood baseball team, I want to thank all of you for attending today. I want to say a special thank you to the committee who's recognized our efforts and has decided to bestow our team with this recognition. I would also like to thank Troy Austin, Director of Athletics, for helping coordinate this event. I'd like to thank each of my teammates for their individual contributions, and we as a team would like to recognize Coach Boulding and Robert Jackson. For it was under their leadership that 19 young men were given the opportunity to earn a chance to compete in the 1991 College World Series. It's also under his leadership that I quickly learned as a freshman you never make the first or third out at third base, which of course is one of those baseball cardinal sins that my high school coach inadvertently forgot to teach me. It was then that he was strong enough to pick up a freshman by one arm at third base, and of course that freshman was me, and the third base was at Hampton City. When Troy Austin told me that Coach Boulding had asked if I would say a few words about our experience during the 1991 season and share some thoughts, I immediately thought about the incredible amount of fun we had playing the game we loved. Think about how much fun we had going to other schools, staying in hotels and team rooms and playing cards during the downtime. We played a lot of cards. Occasionally, those road trips became a great excuse to miss a test and get some extra study time that you may not have been as prepared for if you had not had the opportunity to travel. Again, all this provided something exciting to do. The more I thought it through, though, the more serious I was. I began contemplating the season more seriously than I had before. And I kept thinking about why. Why did our team perform at such a high level? And I thought I'd ask the most serious person that I played with that same question. Of course, that would be my brother John. Who, by the way, I was fortunate enough to play with for 2 years. I asked him what he remembered most about that season. And I'm sure you knew his answer. It was, of course, his home run in the regionals. To use his words, that homer set the tone. And in many ways, he was right. There were many of those magical moments along the way during that 1991 season. Many moments like my brother's home run in the regionals, every one of them as important as the next. And collectively, they added up. Pitch by pitch, inning by inning, game by game, we were 19 young men contributing their skills and abilities towards a common goal that bound each of us together. That goal was to win enough games to earn us a spot in the 1991 South Atlantic Regional in Savannah, Georgia, and ultimately the 1991 World Series in Montgomery, Alabama. The last time a Longwood baseball program had done this was 9 years earlier in 1982, and that goal drove us, and each win made us believe more and more that we could do it, and that belief inspired confidence, and that confidence grew as we continued to score runs and win games. What's equally important here is that it was not one pitch, it was not one inning, and it was not one player. It was all of us. It was the team. We all know teams that have had a ton of talent, but when the seasons tally, there are more losses than wins. As Babe Ruth best put it, the way a team plays as a whole determines its successes. You may have the greatest bunch of individual stars in the world, but if they don't play together, that club won't be worth a dime. An interesting point about that season is that we were not even ranked when the season began. I don't know exactly where in the season that happened, although I'm sure Coach Bowling does. But it took a long time to get big consideration. We were a team that worked hard. And through that hard work, many more wins and losses occurred, and as a result, goals were achieved. The sense of that accomplishment helped to make us who we are today as individuals. I want to take just a moment again to reflect on the few highlights from that amazing season. A regular season of 35-6 wins. A postseason final season record of 41-8. A winning streak of 16 games. A second winning streak of 11 games. A school record wins of 41. A winning percentage of 837. 431 runs, averaging 9 runs per game. Sweeping the regionals with an undefeated record of 3-1. And finally, the World Series record of 3-2 and coming within 1 game of the national championship. Finally, I would like to close with a tribute to Coach Bowling for creating a baseball program that allowed us to experience that season. It's based on a quote that a former baseball John Sullivan made. I feel he's a player's coach. He gets the most out of you that he possibly can. When I got there, I was a decent player, and when I left, I was an All-American. The 1991 baseball team will paraphrase that quote today and leave you with this. He is a team's coach. He gets the most out of the team he possibly can. When we got there, we were a decent team, and when we left, we were an All-American team. Thank you very much.